Welcome to the Llamas Graze with Nose from FROK. This has been a while in the making on doing another copy of our, or another run of our show here, Nose. I think the last time we talked was like 6 8 months ago, and it was like one of those
Yeah.
marathon 2.5 hour, 3 hour sessions. And
hmm
I didn't even bother editing it. I just like threw the whole thing up on YouTube. I'm like, fuck it, just let them have it. They can just do whatever they want with this. But this time decided that we're going to try to break it up into several versions of, or several episodes of the show. So hopefully next week or a couple weeks from now, then we'll do a live test of the swapping mechanism, and I'll try to do a video recording of that one, and then I'll just clip it in, and then or use a different computer, and then be able to post that to YouTube also, so we can get some test clips to be able to use for promo type of stuff on YouTube. But first of all, welcome.
Perfect.
Thank you for coming back
Yeah.
on. And what I wanted to start off, there's a lot of people that are new to llamas and new to FROK, and I wanted to be able to give you a chance to first just tell us about the project, about FROK.com, and where what the project is first before we start talking about the changes from last
hmm
time we talked.
Yeah. It's been. I think last time I was in a grace, it was more than a year ago. So I'm like not even 6 8 months. I think it was 11 plus minus. So a lot of things changed during that time. So I also try to make it quick because there's a long tail with regards to the history of what Frog was before, but I just cut right into what it is today. Um, I also recognize there's a few backholders of rock already in here, so but also a few new faces. So um, essentially, if I were to just summarize it in 2 sentences, it's aiming to deliver variable levels of intelligence at a variable price for those variable levels of intelligence. And now it's to get an idea of what it is. Imagine you have a really tough problem. Say you have a huge code base, really complex code with, say, math involved and whatnot. And you've been fighting for 2 3 hours with the cursor agent, the different kinds of models, and you're exhausted. And maybe there's some time constraints with regards to what you need to solve. Or you need to write a really good essay for your university, whatever it is. So yeah, the variable levels here would be from the user's preview something like you have $5 worth of frog, and you can say here 10 different documents. It could be code files, it could be context from whatever uni project, for example, that you are doing, and you tell it, okay, you need to do this and this. Here's $5, and then um, the moment you kind of send it all to the model, you are renting effectively under the hood a multi-million-dollar infrastructure for, say, a minute or two. And on those GPUs, there's various models running and trying to get the best of the quality for to solve in
So
order to be able to solve this problem.
So in comparison to
Yeah.
currently popular AI models like or services like Claude and
hmm
ChatGPT, they have a flat pricing model, right, where you pay a subscription fee, and
Yes.
you
Yes.
never get to
Or
bump your
also fixed
quality,
one.
a fixed one.
Yeah.
You don't have the
Yeah. For the
control
yeah.
to be able to bump the quality of how much inference they're pushing towards your answer. You're just stuck in the pipeline, and they have to load balance it on their side. And this,
Correct.
what
Correct.
Frog's going to do is
So yeah.
is a pay. You can pay for a premium inference.
Yes, I'll also get into a few other details in relation to that. But yeah, when it comes to the consumer products, this $20 subscription, or say even for ChatGPT Pro, I think is priced at $200 a month. Then yes, you are kind of yeah, you don't have any opportunity to decide how much compute should be used, intelligence applied to a particular problem. You can provide the model a hint and say, well, don't overcomplicate this. It's a maybe a simple task, so you don't have to think 2 minutes about it. or maybe it's a really hard one. And this is kind of a passive way how you can control it to some extent. But there's also the API services. It's a different model that you get there. It's not so when you use as a consumer the chat product, it's not just it's not the same model that you can that you're using that is being sold through the API. If you look at it from this perspective, you could say, all right, I build a mini agent, or say for my particular problem, and then it just uses their API to chain prompt and orchestrate the different steps, say in the process of writing an essay or solving a particular bug. You could do that, but it would still cost you comparatively for what you get a lot of money. And the I would say the key factor that kind of distincts or makes the distinction here compared to FROK is if you have this hard problem, then all of those, say, hundreds of or thousands of steps are being done in the so it's not going back and forth like with Cursor. With Cursor you have your code base, or you can even write essays in Cursor. I also do a lot of writing in Cursor as well. So and then the agent kind of goes back and forth. It edits a few files, and then the updates are being reflected on your interface, and then some stuff is being sent again to Cursor, their servers, and from there to Anthropic, Google, or OpenAI, and then it kind of goes back and forth, back and forth. And sometimes those agents run for 5 to 10 minutes.
I liked it. One of
And
the
yeah,
things
as
that
I
you
said,
one of the
yeah,
things that you had said in the
yeah,
server, like just to pick out
yeah,
a way that you had described the load balancing option is almost like
hmm,
decentralized load balancing, where you're able to pay for what you want to use at that time and what you need, and don't have to do 75 iterations on the same piece of crap chatbot over and
yeah,
over again, hoping for
yeah,
the answer you're looking for. One of the things that you
yeah,
had said to me earlier in the week was that you had used like an Ethereum type of a fix with gas market. It was kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
a code that we were
Yeah, yeah.
using, like where
Yeah,
you
yeah. We are
pay
not. Yeah,
as you need, or the tip concept where you're bumping up your gas in order to put
yeah,
yourself
yeah, yeah.
first in the pool.
Yeah. We'll get in a moment to that. I just want to kind of make sure that the baseline idea is understood here. So yeah, as I said, you have this very complex problem, and then the distinction would be that you send this batch of files and instructions away, and then if there's 100 steps or 1,000 steps that need to be done, because like so as I said, this is a hard problem that you have. All of those steps and iterations, they happen at the same location where the inference is also happening. And if you do it that way, you can like not only save like latency between, say, Europe and US, where the servers are, and like avoid the network overhead of going back and forth. But it's also you can so you can do batch inference, for example, with on GPUs, and you can basically produce 100 answers to the same question at the price of what it would say cost. Like it doesn't matter for the GPU if you have one prompt and then you output one answer, or if you do batch inference, it's like it costs maybe 2 times in electricity and time to generate 100 outputs. And yeah, as I said, so you can compress those hundreds to 1,000 steps into very densely in one place, and basically process it all there. And the levels of quality that you can achieve if you do that, they surpass everything. Um, like every model, take the best model, Gemini 2.5 Pro, DeepSeek, whatever. So if you yeah, if you send something out and you get something back, because like throwing $5 is very, it's not normal, but it's you wouldn't be able to get that level of quality because like if you prompt once through the pro subscription, the maximum they spend on your problem is maybe 5 to 10 cents in compute. and the quality kind of, or like the quality boost degrades, so it's not like you're not getting linearly more IQ or intelligence by uh, paying more, but the slight difference can like in the levels of intelligence can make a huge difference for you working on that problem, but also in the intermediary steps. And it's also an unfair comparison, 100%. If we say, look, we are beating all the benchmarks, mogging the best models of Anthropic, OpenAI, and whatnot for a dollar, but yeah, they are very likely more efficient in terms of, I would say, if you put a human that works on a problem for 1 hour with the Opus 4 versus you're paying $10 and then Frog delivers that in 2 minutes. So it's solving
It's a very
problems very
unique.
fast at a high. Yeah,
It's a
it's a
unique,
niche, 100%.
fix to
Yeah,
be able to throw that kind of money
yeah,
at the GPU space or the compute space, right? To be able to say, instead of giving you a nickel, we're going to give you $5. Go solve this. I mean, of course, you're going to blow everybody out of the water,
yeah, yeah,
but that's the
absolutely.
choice of the
So
user
and
to be
yeah,
able to spend that.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so also maybe, I don't know, maybe some people are using cursor in here. It also kind of solved this UX issue where you have 3, 4, 5 different models, and then you kind of have to test them over a few days and figure out what one model can do better than the other. And then as you progress, kind of switch back and forth. The ideal UX would be you have just say one slider, and maybe you use Frog over a week, and then you kind of got a feel, okay, for factor 2x, I get this levels of quality. For 100x factor, I get this and this level. And then you can pre-configure, say, 3, 4 different buttons for different levels. And then um, as you chat and as you type, whatever is that your problem is, you just press different buttons, and then different costs and levels of intelligence will be applied. Now, to touch back on what you said with the gas, kind of doing the transition here to the tokenomics part.
Great.
Building something like this is or like offering this is a challenge that already exists for Anthropic and OpenAI. Like at the very moment we are right now. So they have the Opus 4 model, and it may sound crazy what I'm about to say, but if you try to use the Anthropic models when USA is asleep, they perform much better. So the token per second speed is faster, and if you really pay attention, also the quality is a little bit better. And so what you can derive from that is the struggle they have. There's a ton of customers that want to use the models, but they have to distribute the load in real time while keeping a fixed price. And it's tough to predict. So for some person, a faster token per second speed or quality would like they would be ready to pay more, and for some it would be too expensive. So they kind of have to pinpoint one price, and then that's one problem. And then the other problem is distributing the compute load across various data centers and clusters within a data center. GPUs, there's a lot of complexity that goes into that, while also managing pricing. And you have the same issue not just for the providers that offer this inference, but also for the builders that are using those APIs to build products on top of it. So they have to do more or less the same. They have, I don't know, maybe a tool that helps you. You can take basically any agent that exists out there in within the crypto space. There's builders using those APIs, and then they have to price this product somehow, and apply also different levels of intelligence, like by measure of deciding how many, say, chain prompts they want to apply. If a user asks, I want to, I don't know, stake some USDC tokens in an Aave pool, how many steps do you need? Like, do you spend 3 prompts and then risk the agent failing to figure out how to do that, or do you throw
Three strikes and you're out.
10 prompts at it, but then the latency degrades to 20 seconds, and then that is bad. Like, you also have to balance a lot of things. And so for Frog, we kind of are turning around this problem a bit by taking example from Ethereum. Ethereum also has the load balance. There's a very limited block space. Like 10 million gas per block is the maximum, or like the ideal maximum that the chain should produce. And there's an upper limit of 20 million gas, and then the longer the chain stays above 10 million gas consumption, the higher the gas fees are going up. And the idea there is that once the fees go up, the people start to use the chain less, and kind of reduce the load gets reduced to the optimal target. And that way everybody gets to, everybody at any point has the chance to send in some transaction and get it processed, although at a reliable price. So 1 minute it could cost, I don't know, 5 cents to swap on mainnet, and then there's a lot of volatility going on. The MEV bots are doing arbitrage, selling in a lot of transactions, and then the fees go up. And but it's not like you're left from the ability to unstake your other tokens and then dump them through some pool. It would just cost, instead of 10 cents, it will cost $2 during that volatile period. So this is one perk, like of this balancing mechanism that Ethereum has, that we are trying to apply here. And then the other one is, and it's the same as in the Ethereum case. Say you have you bought $500 worth of Frog tokens, and you're using it, and then some power users come around, and they are very they're very stacked with Frog tokens, and have very complex problems, and they're throwing a lot of money for their problems, and they're occupying, say, 60-70% of the compute capacity that exists on the backend side of things. Now, for all the other users, they are left, they cannot apply, say, a 200x factor for the problem, or they would have to pay, say, 10x the price. And you could say this is kind of an inconvenience that gets created during that moment, which makes this model bad. But if you look at Ethereum, during periods of high gas, the Ethereum gets burned. So, and at that moment, the supply is being reduced. And while there's still, USDT, US dollars, actual currency that went into purchasing Ethereum. So you could say, in some sense, every Ethereum holder is benefiting from the fact that somebody guzzles a lot of gas. And the same way it would be here. If somebody, I don't know, prompts $100 a shot, like every minute or so, and the gas fees in Frog tokens are going up, you're outpriced in that moment, but you know that $100 are being burned every minute.
Yeah,
So
as a FROK
while
holder, you're
yeah
getting the benefit of
yeah
the price appreciation due
yeah
to the reducing of supply. So it might be inconvenience for you for 2 minutes to not be able to run a prompt effectively, but if you're a holder, you're happy because you're burning it.
yeah yes, the tokens are being burned,
Incredible.
while you also know that Ethereum went in to purchase those tokens. And so it's that way things are being balanced. So, and we also make sure that everybody can use it at any point in time.
And as
And
we
just to
as
mention
we
it, there's
go ahead.
yeah yeah I don't know, just one point. There's currently on the web, there's no service, at least I'm not aware of it, that allows you to rent, say, 64 GPUs for 2 minutes to solve your problem.
Absolutely not.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
There are no that
It's
it
a bit
doesn't exist. Doesn't exist except for
yeah.
yours. So
It's
the other thing that we're going to see,
yeah
I think, down the next 6 to 8 months, The service that we're getting from the load balancing from ChatGPT is going to get even worse, right? As more people start using the LLMs, we're going to have even worse and more degradation of service, as you say. So it makes this even more of an important thing to do now before we hit mass adoption on
Yes, yes,
chatbot type of things. Is that it's going to get worse before it gets better?
absolutely. And I assume they might already work on similar variable pricing. There's nothing that prevents them from doing so. It's just like if like every say it's not like you can deposit a thousand, or you can deposit $1,000 into Anthropic also right now. But if if uh, if they implement something like this, and let's say you are outpriced at some point because there's the users that are overusing the models, and so prices go up. You're not being compensated for it. So while you already deposited $1,000 or so into your balance, and what they cannot do is rewarding you in US dollars. So either they go down the Web3 route, which I think is very unlikely, and kind of use the same model, or they implement a suboptimal version of this variably priced compute. And yeah, just to yeah, briefly mention that, and also um, yeah, also that it's I also doubt that there will ever be an opportunity for you to tap into like or like shoot out those $10 prompts, $5 prompts. It's a niche that I also think that they cannot afford, not just because of the suboptimality they have with traditional finance systems, and also the case that even if you don't deposit $1,000, but you say, okay, you allow Anthropic to deduct $50 as soon as your balance hit $5, this withdrawal from your credit card, it costs at a minimum 20 to 50 cents plus
Yeah,
2% that it is going to Visa and Mastercard and the banks and the clearing facilities, like all the parties involved, which cuts on the profit margin
there's already so much
there as
slippage
well.
in the way that they currently have the pricing set up to where if you had a panic or an emergency credit card charge, they wouldn't be able to batch it in like they do with all of their subscription regular charges for a
Yeah,
discount, and they would be eating 3 to 5 or 3 to whatever 6%
yeah,
for for a special credit card charge. It doesn't work that way. Like it's not their business model. OpenAI's business model is not set up to be able to do surge pricing. Where this is how FROK is built from the beginning, is that it's a much Web3 has or crypto has a much better
yeah,
way to solve this, and that's what you're coming up with.
yeah.
But
And it's
before we
proven
talk
also over the years. Yeah,
before we talk about
like
swap,
yeah.
did you want to talk any more about tokenomics before we go into swap?
I think I think for today it's like we sufficiently
Yeah,
covered. Maybe in the next like because it's as I said, there's this variable gas. It's very similar to Ethereum. Just think of every transaction is a prompt, and then the block space is basically the capacity of the compute pool and the background.
it's a
So
really cool way
it's
to lay it out and describe it. Now
yeah,
it's a very unique fix
yeah.
to something that we need. So what we've been seeing most recently from you in chat has been all about swap. So can you talk
Yes.
about why swap was needed in
Hmm.
order to help Frog launch?
Yes. So yeah, it's you could say it was somewhat of a detour over the last months, but also by now 100% a worthwhile detour, because building a system application, um, consumer dApp, whatever you call it, is one part. The other part is getting people to use it. So them going onto the page, connecting their wallet, purchasing some tokens, and this is as much of an important step as providing a solutions for the problems I elaborated in the last few minutes. But I think it's from a builder's perspective, it's it shouldn't be ignored. I feel like a lot of builders out there are if you can say it's good, they're focusing on their products, but they should dedicate at least the same levels of focus on making sure, or like thinking about how their products can be adopted, like putting themselves into the shoes of a new user who discovered a protocol, and then in a lot of the cases, even like recent releases of dApps, in quotes dApps, the experience is you go onto the site and then there's a registration button, and very often there's not even like connect your wallet, it's like email and password. Like those protocols label themselves as Web3 and dApps, but it has nothing to do with Web3 at all, except maybe buying the token from the project, which offers no utility. It just exists, and so you're backholding a token, and then there's adjacent to that a project where you can use an email and password to use a chatbot. So it's really weird. And then in other cases, you have a button that points to Uniswap, and then it's definitely, from a non-Web3 native, it's weird. So like
Yeah, they're going to
from
send me
Web2,
to an
you're used.
external site
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
buy a token that I don't have any idea what to do with or where it even
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's confusing, and it's yeah. So from maybe I make a like a or paint a short clip in your head of what I think should be happening if for the ideal dApp. So you go into the dApp, you can connect any type of wallet. As soon as you connect, you have a complete overview of all your holdings across all the different chains, and you see all your tokens and their respective prices. And then if it is a central part of the dApp that a token has to be used in order to use the product, then the dApp has to lay out all the rails for the customer to get started. And so for FROK, this would be connect your wallet, you see your balances, you pick source token is USDC or Ethereum. Then within 2 seconds, you get different quotes for aggregation. The best quote is already automatically selected. There's maybe some pre-selection button for $20. You click on it, boom, you get a quote. And then you click on this button, you sign a single a single message, which says, yeah, I'm accepting the terms and conditions. I'm ready to spend like that amount of Ethereum for that amount of tokens. And I'm also putting them into the escrow contract, and this signature also logs you in. So you're signing one transaction, or not transaction, it's a signature. And then as soon as you click on sign, confirm, basically 2 seconds, 3 seconds go by. And within those 3 seconds, the depth view for the chat is being loaded, the transaction is being mined, your entire portfolio is being analyzed for your interests, say a convex curve is what the user holds. So the 4 example questions on the next view will be related to curve and convex. And so all of this happening within 3 seconds, and then 3 seconds go by, and then boom, you see the depth and the example questions, and you can get started right away. And if you just imagine this flow in your head, this is and people say crypto is complex, but if you just look at the number of clicks and the time that passes, it's 100% more efficient and convenient than
Yeah.
say OpenAI. So sign up with Google, then fill in
Yes.
your data, then confirm, then next email verification, then
Yeah.
Stripe
Oh God.
payment,
Yeah. Then you have to
click
have
to
to
Stripe,
confirm it and then
SMS.
get your phone. Go try not to get try not to
Complex.
get SIM swapped in the process. Okay. So when the user I think what you just said is that FROK.SWAP was a necessary tool to be able for an onboarding process, right? It's an onboarding tool.
Yes,
Is that
it's yeah.
is there also going to be
It
a
started.
credit card option for people to be able to buy FROK with a credit card to be able to start using it?
So I think for the start, not, but if there exist solutions from Coinbase, so kind of looking into that direction. If you're on base already, and Coinbase is huge in the US, but also
Right.
globally.
So
They are
you
very
will
convenient
put
ways.
there'll be a Coinbase DApp that you can plug into the front page on FROK to be able to load their credit card information in, and they won't have to go to Stripe or some other another clicking onto a different
Yeah,
window.
yeah,
It'll all still
there's
be within
already
FROK.SWAP.
there's so they exist. Also, Stripe is doing a lot of things with crypto lately, but I haven't looked into that. But there's ways to kind of include it. So there's the crypto rail that you can use, but um, also enabling this classic credit card, Apple Pay, maybe also way of purchasing the tokens. Yeah, that as well, but not certainly not for the launch. I think it's
Being able to
in the
use
weeks after. Yeah,
what can you swap
yeah.
into FROK from the FROK.SWAP main page? Can you pull from a bunch of different chains and use
Every,
different tokens to be able to
everything.
just
Yeah.
claw everything in to be able to use for your gas token?
You mean gas token?
I
Okay,
mean
so
to swap for FROK.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so for Frog anything. So as long as there's liquidity for the source token, you are basically, so you're getting aggregation from KaibaSwap, OpenOcean, Matcha or 0x, and from Odus. And we also have an in-house aggregation coming, but that only for USDC, Red Ethereum, and Coinbase BTC to Frog. So that will be done in-house, but like if it's possible to swap them on all the different aggregators, then it will be possible to swap it uh, on the interface, Frog interface as well, and also bridge from other chains. So whatever is possible with the current technology that allows you to bridge any token from any chain to Ethereum on Base, like if that works, then that will work for the FROK.SWAP as well.
And all that will be shown on the main frog.com website when you first connect your wallet. And
Yeah, I
that's
guess on a
one of the
sidebar.
cool
Yeah,
like edge things I think that like is going to make this special is that when you first connect, Frog itself is going to be analyzing your Web3 presence, right? And say,
yeah,
oh, you've got
yeah,
$3 worth of Avalanche that is sitting over there that we could just pull that in and bridge it and swap it to Frog,
yeah,
and you can almost
yeah,
clean up
yeah,
all your old stuff that's your dregs that are scattered around, bring it in, swap it to Frog, and then start using it immediately. It's about
yeah, yeah,
a smooth and fast onboarding process. Because once
yeah, yeah.
you have
There's
one shot at these people, and it's got to be good from the start when they first get on the
100%.
site.
Yeah,
And for anybody
100%.
who's listening to the call and hasn't looked at the site, go to frog.com. I pulled it up on my widescreen monitor, and it's really badass. And the site looks great, Nose, and you've done really good work on it.
Yeah, it will be even better. So it's yeah, also for the swap, so that it will be accessible also as a standalone thing as well. So you don't have to use the or like ask a model to perform the swap. It's really, yeah, like so you have an overview of your balances, and you can, like, you don't have to search for the source token. You can just click on it, and you can only click on the tokens you own. And there's about 6,000 tokens that are supported, and it covers like the coverage is really great. There, I can guarantee that there will be no, new tokens that are missed, except maybe if they launched, I don't know, 2 days ago. Then maybe not. But it has a pretty wide coverage across all the chains, including Solana, by the way. And also, just to elaborate on this part, another perk, not just from like for the Frog interface later on, but also for the swap, is that there's a lot of also new technology that went into making it butter smooth. It's even, I would even dare to say it's even smoother than you clicking around in your system that doesn't use the internet. Like system settings. Navigating I don't know, through your phone, through your uh, computer, like Windows, Mac. The page is also a PWA app, a progressive web app. It's called. It's so the first time you go on swap.frog.com, the entire code is almost it's being installed. So it's fetched from the service one time, and then the next time you go onto that page, it loads from your browser's cache. So there's a 100, it loads within 100 milliseconds, and then your entire holdings across all the chains load all within a second, including the prices. And the quotes take a maximum of 2 seconds as well. And yeah, everything is it's so also the new version I'm working right now on that will be released. It will be so snappy that it will definitely, even if you don't like proactively pay attention to those things, there's a really, in a positive way, strange feeling. Like it's a bit too, it feels a bit too fast because it's unusual to see something, being so responsive. This is yeah, I would say another perk that we will maintain also for the chat app, not just for the swap. Everything will feel butter smooth as you are used to from Apple.
Well, I wanted to give you a chance
Yeah.
to say we can wrap it now if you'd like. I mean, we got a little bit over 35 minutes in.
So
Want to keep it short for you. I know it's nighttime there, and I really think that this is a great intro and a first episode to be able to catch people up to where we are currently. We have a lot of questions for the next episode. Obviously, want to be able to do a live, demo of the swapping mechanism, and be able to show us what you've been talking about. And excited to see that. And it's really been an awesome journey. So thank you for coming on and keeping us up to date. Any closing
so
thoughts?
no, but I'm open to questions from the chat. Maybe quickly cover that, like a
Okay.
small Q&A.
Yeah, you can do a very small Q and
Yeah.
A. You gotta type real fast. I have one. If you want me to do a quick one, I could ask you. Uh, this is kind of we haven't even brought this up at
Yeah.
all. But like, what about future funding? Do you have plans to do any raises, or did you have plans to go to any VC stuff? Has any of that ever popped up?
Yeah, it's so we have runway. Um, it's it suffices. But we definitely want to like bump up the yeah, the capacity, development capacity. So we already have like one developer joining us. Already joined us, I would say. It's kind of coincidentally over the last weeks, and yeah, getting him full time on board, and then 3 4 more people. So when it comes to that, um, yeah, I guess that may be accompanied by some yeah, efforts to get some funding.
So that's the first real hire that you guys have had, ever, right? It's just been the two of you until now. So that's exciting to get some more talent on board, and
Yeah,
they must be really good to
same.
make the cut with you. I can't even imagine trying to interview with nose. I would definitely fail.
Oh yeah, it is also like it's a good friend of mine. We've been in touch over the last months, and it kind of naturally happened, I would say. So he was helping on a lot of things, and then more and more happened of it. And then at some point, yeah, uh, I would say it's yeah, kind of naturally slided in, but it wasn't like a proactive effort on that part.
That's awesome.
Just yeah,
Well, that's great to hear.
but very happy. Yeah.
Congratulations on that one, and no questions in chat right now. So we'll just go ahead and do a
Except yeah, except to when. So for the
when.
Legioness,
Oh, when? That was
yeah,
a question. I didn't even know that was a question.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So for the Legioness, yeah, I hope in the next 24 hours we can get the next version out, and this would be the like the yeah, the one where I tell anyone, please try to break the swap, try to click buttons very fast, see if there's some bugged states, you know uh, just yeah, go wild on that UI, and really try to break it, clicking all the buttons, closing, opening the tab and whatnot. And then yeah, if everything works fine, and it should, I hope, then we can get it out in a day later, I
That's
hope.
exciting,
Yeah.
and so it's so coming
Yeah.
very soon, very soon. And
Yeah.
anybody listening, get on FROK's Discord or the Llamas Discord, and we'll have everything cross posted for the launch of the open testing of the of FROK.SWAP.
there's also a proper release by. So like for the legions, it's internal, but after that it will be like live on swap.frog.com for everybody to use.
Awesome.
So yeah,
All right. Thank you, Noahs. Appreciate your time, and we will look forward to episode
same.
2.
Yeah, excited as well. And then yeah, thank you for the listeners to that you joined and chimed in. And I guess then to the next grace.
All right. Have a good night.
Take care.